Some misconceptions about cosplay that I've heard of. I think people seem to think it's really difficult to do. Like you have to have a lot of knowledge when it comes to sewing and crafting.
There's a lot of misconceptions about who should participate in cosplay. First is that you have to be like stick skin or really muscular. A lot of people don't think that people of color can play Asian characters. They consider them to be like white people can only fulfill those roles and take on those kind of cosplays opposed to somebody of color, which is really ridiculous because everybody in anime is Asian.
I haven't personally received too much negativity towards my cosplays. If there has been anything, it's been through the internet. I think that people, when they have kind of a screen to hide behind, you know, they can be kind of nasty. I had a few people say things about, you know, like my weight. They didn't like the way I did my makeup. You know, I mean, those things they can be hurtful, but it's not going to deter me from doing this.
A lot of times, the female cosplays or outfits tend to be more promiscuous or revealing, and pretty much everybody's okay with that, but you'll get that, you know, couple people that'll just kind of say some offhanded things about, oh, well, you're showing too much of this or too little of that, which is really unfortunate. Have I ever been stereotyped whenever I tell people that I cosplay? Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever stereotyped me when I told them that I was a cosplayer, but my boyfriend said that he told his friends, and apparently one of them had, you know, some negative interaction with cosplayers at conventions before, and said they were kind of like snobbish and rude and elitist.
Most people I tell, which is not a lot of people, they look at me weird and they say something along the lines of, aren't you too old for that? Aren't you too old to dress up?
I guess what makes me break the mold of the stereotype of a cosplayer is I try to be very helpful and positive when other people are, you know, creating their costumes, and I try to give you know, positive feedback, constructive criticism.
I don't try to judge anybody really harshly. I try to be really nice.
One of my friends told me that there's a cosplayer that she knows that told her that she was too heavy to be in her Sailor Moon group, and I'm just like, you know, that's just wrong. I don't think it's right. So I'm very against bullying in cosplays.
A lot of people eventually get turned by this hobby. It like turns them into something ugly. They're like really judgmental, or, you know, maybe they're like negative towards everybody that doesn't, like, you know, either cosplay at all or doesn't do a certain level of cosplay.
I just think that being elitist in this little subculture is kind of ridiculous because, you know, no matter what, we're just grown-ups playing dress up. But if I do try and break any stereotype, it's that of being elitist, snobby, unkind, and really competitive. I don't feel like this really is a competition. If I want to outdo anyone, it's myself. I want to keep getting better and better. I don't feel the need to bash other people's costumes or treat anybody differently. We're all grown-ups who are dressing up as superheroes and princesses and video game characters, and I think it's kind of ridiculous to get really super serious about it.
Cosplay is all about being comfortable with yourself and being comfortable with the character in like that moment, and it's about sharing that with other people.
I think cosplay is a fantastic creative outlet. It's basically made Halloween all year for me. It's all about escapism, I think. I get to dress up and be somebody else, and I think that's really appealing to a lot of people. I think that's why so many people do it.
Cosplay is special to me because I get to just forget about everything in my life. All the adult stuff, all of the, you know, bill paying and everything, and just for like 3 days, I get to just dress up in an outfit and be somebody else.
I think it's no wonder so many people are into it.
Usually whenever people ask me whether or not that's, something I should be doing at my age, I usually just tell them, well, that makes me happy. And so that's what I do.
It's my hobby. It gives me something fun to look forward to. I'm always planning my next costume. I'm always putting things together. So I don't know. It gives me something fun to look forward to, and I get a chance to be somebody else for a day. And it's really fun.